Hi guys, we just got a real quick video tonight to go over a few of the Rush Select Classic things you need to know. We have some special procedures and it's important that you're aware of those before you go out and ref any of the Rush Select Spring Classic games. So why don't we go ahead and get started right away. First of all, how do you know if you have a Rush Select game? Well, actually, that's pretty easy, and it's just like you check it for your regular league season. If you look at your schedule, there are two columns that you can check this time around. The first is the sport and level column, and you can see right here where it says RS before the age level. RS stands for Rush Select. So you'll always know that's a Rush Select game. Now these are games that are going to be starting on Tuesday and continuing through Saturday. So keep that in mind. Also, since these are basically tournament games and they haven't finished playing their league season yet, all they have is seeds in the schedule. So if you look over here for the home team, for instance, I have seed 1 circled. You'll see for the away team, seed 5. And the whole schedule basically goes that way until we reach the semifinals and finals. So that's the real easy way to tell. So if you have one of those games starting next Tuesday, going through Saturday, you know you have one of the tournament games and you need to apply these special procedures. There are things that apply to all games, and then there are some other things that only apply to games on Friday and Saturday. So we'll go over all games first. First of all the Rush Select games are at Optimist. However, please note that all games at Optimist are not Rush Select Classic games. So that's why you really need to check your schedule very carefully. Some of the games at Optimist over the next week are actually D3 games. So make sure you know which local rules of competition to apply to the games that you have. Since all you have on the schedule are seed 1 versus seed 5, etc., you're going to have to determine the correct names of the teams that are playing in your game. The way you do this is you go to the headquarters tent, which is located somewhere around the middle of Optimus. It'll be pretty obvious. And check on the boards. The charts may be on a table, but they'll be right around the headquarters tent. You can ask and find your game. You'll have to find the time and the field that you're on and determine who's playing in the game. While you're doing that, you also need to make sure you know which team is home and which team is away. As most of you know, when you have Rush Select teams out there, one team's going to be blue, one team's going to be white, and that's not going to be much help when you try to record the score. So get the team names and determine who's home and who's away so that you can write it down on your data book as you keep the score. It's probably a good idea when you get to the game and you're checking the teams in or introducing yourself to the coaches that you confirm the team name and which team is home and which team is away. Now, it's very possible the coaches won't know who's home and who's away. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. But at least you'll have the names correct, and that'll make it far easier for you to actually report scores later on. After the game, this applies to all games in the Classic, you have to go back to the headquarters tent and report the score there. We're not going to use blue game cards, and so get the score reported back to the tent right after your game. Now, if you have back-to-back games during the week, you can wait till both games are done to report the scores. Once you've done that, you have to then go home and immediately file your game report in Arbiter. It has to be done the same day. You can't wait till the next day. The regular 48-hour rule does not apply to these tournament games. Go home, record the score the same day. If you have misconduct, everything's the same as normal. You fill out the arbiter game report, fill out misconduct reports, make any comments that you need to make in the comment section. If you have a problem with a coach, you have a problem with spectators, I met this week with Rush Select. They want that information. Put it in the comments so they can deal with it. If you ignore it, you just make the problem worse for the person that comes after you, and nobody can do anything about it. So let's start making those kind of reports in the comment section of all the games you do. The two items I show here on this slide, if you don't do them, if you don't report to the tent with the score and you don't fill it in an arbiter the same day, you're not going to be paid for the game. It pays to pay attention to what we tell you on special occasions. So make sure you do that, because I want to make sure you're paid. I mentioned already, for this tournament, we never use blue game cards. So you're not going to get anything at the tent when you check in. You're just going to go and, like you normally do on a regular league game, keep your data book and keep your score in your data book so that you have that when you come back to the tent and when you go home to record it in Arbiter. And it's very important in a tournament setting that you get the score correct. Just think about it. If one game gets an incorrect score, you could end up having the wrong team go to a championship game. And I know some of you are chuckling right now, but that has actually happened in a tournament that I did several years ago, and it's happened in other tournaments in the state of Idaho. That's how important getting the score correct is. Getting them reversed, missing a goal, or giving too many goals, it all matters. Make sure you get it correct. Now, for Friday and Saturday only, there are some additional procedures that are important that you follow. First of all, we will have a referee tent those nights. It's probably going to be part of the headquarters tent, and I will be there. And you must come and check in before your game, 30 minutes before your game, to let me know that you are there. And I will check you off so that I know you're there. And this is my pay sheet. If you don't check in, guess what? You're not going to get paid because I don't think you're there. So come check in on Friday and come check in on Saturday, 30 minutes before your game. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Now, rules and documents, the tournament rules. This is the URL for the tournament rules. I've also put this link up on Arbiter. So if you don't have time right now to write this down and don't want to stop and pause and go back and forth to get it, you can always go to Arbiter. But you need to have the tournament rules. You need to have read them. My preference is that you print them out and you carry them with you throughout the tournament. You also should have the regular Rush Select local rules of competition. This will give you the other things that you need that still apply even though this is a tournament. And again, here is the URL for it, and this also is on Arbiter so that you can get it there with a convenient click. We're at that time of year where we often have thunderstorms roll through, so please get a hold of the lightning policy for the tournament and make sure you apply it. This is a safety issue, and referees, what is your primary function? Safety, player safety. In this case, it's coach safety, spectator safety, your own safety. On Friday and Saturday, when I'm out there, I will have an air horn, and if we do have a lightning situation, I will also blow an air horn to let everybody know it's time to clear the fields, and that means everybody needs to clear out and go to their cars. Standing under the shelters, going to the tent, things like that, not safe. I will be leaving the tent and going to my car. So if that applies, make sure you are seeking safety. And that's it. Hope everybody enjoys the tournament, and if you have any questions, You all know where to find me. Talk to you later. Bye.